Good morning. Today we will discuss regarding optical encoders and nozzle flapper system. So these are the displacement transducers. So regarding optical encoders, so first of all we will discuss regarding the digital transducers. So what do you mean by digital transducers? So in most of the measurement system, the transducers provides only an analog output. Therefore, we have to use an analog to digital converter to receive the data in digital form that can be handled by digital computers. Therefore, the transducers which have a digital output are preferable so that they can be directly interface with the digital computers without A to D converter. That digital transducers are called encoders. They are available, but they are normally in the form of linear or rotary displacement transducers. Digital encoding transducers, or it is also called digitizers, enable a linear or rotary displacement to be directly converted into digital form without intermediate A to D converter. Such digitizers may be known as digital encoders or linear digitizers, digitizers, or for rotary applications it is known as shaft digitizers or shaft encoders. So for linear applications, that digitizers, it is known as digital encoders or linear encoders. For rotary applications it is known as shaft digitizers or shaft encoders. A digitizer is perhaps the most elementary form of analog to digital converter because it converts a continuous displacement, that is an analog quantity, to be defined incrementally in some binary or decimal code. So therefore, digital displacement transducers can be classified into three major categories. First, tachometer transducers. Second, incremental transducers. And third, absolute transducers. So you can see the next slide. An optical encoder is a device that convert motion into electrical pulses, and it is used to determine the displacement. So encoders that are used for linear displacement and the rotary displacement. So regarding optical encoders, there are two basic geometric styles of optical encoders. First is incremental and second is absolute. Now regarding optical encoders, we will see the components in an optical encoder. So the code disk, it is a very important element that is required in an optical encoder. So that code disk, it is used to produce different light patterns on a photo detector assembly from a stationary light source. So it determines the optical encoder type. So we will see the next slide. So the components, the light source that is required. In the light source, you can use LEDs or IR LEDs provide the light source. Light is collimated using a lens to make the beams parallel. Second element that is used in optical encoders, it is a photo detector. So either photodiodes or photo transistors that is used. And third is opaque disk, that is also called the code disk. So one or more tracks with slits to allow light to pass through. So these are the various components that are required in optical encoders. So you can see in a diagram. So different components, that is on the top there is a electronics board, then there is a photo detector assembly, which detects the light that is passed through the coded disk. Then there is a code disk, then light source. So these are the different components used in a optical encoders. Now the next slide. So in this you can see there is a incremental encoder code disk. So code disk that is used for the incremental encoder. So you can see here it consists of photodetector and photo emitter. So there is a, on the right hand side there is a light source, and in a coded disk the different slits are formed. So white, through the white color, the light it is pass through that slit, and that photo detector that will detect that light. Then next to that slit there is a dark light, through that the light does not pass. Okay, so in case of incremental encoder, it provides a pulse each time the shaft rotates through the predefined distance. So in that the pulses that will be counted to detect the displacement of the shaft. So this is in case of incremental encoder. So this is a coded disk that is shown, that is used for incremental encoder. So when the shaft rotates, that disk it is attached on a shaft that will also rotate, and the pulses that will be counted. When the shaft rotates, the light that will pass through the slit or the gap, and when there is a no gap, that is indicated by black color, the light does not pass. So the pulses that will be the counted, and that will be converted into the displacement. So this is regarding the incremental encoder. Next is, you can see here the theory of optical encoders. So there is a light source on, you can see the top diagram on the left hand side. There is a LED, that is a light source that is used. Then the code disk. So you can see the slots that are provided in a disk in a specific pattern. There is a pattern. Then when there is a, through the white color, the light that will be pass through that slot. So there is a photo sensor on the right hand side which will detect or sense that light. So it will be the on position when the light it is passed through the coded disk. So that will be the on position. The on means it is 0 and off means it is 1. So for the first example it is 0 0 0. So the code is 0 0 0. On a right hand side top diagram you can see there is a light does not pass through the coded disk. So that will be the position will be the off means it is 1 1 1. Okay, on a bottom side left hand side, that is on means it is 0 1 0, and on a bottom of right hand side there is a on off means 0 1 1. So these are the codes, and that according to that codes the angle that is determined. So that depends upon the number of bits. Okay, now the optical encoder types. So there are two types of encoders: incremental encoders and absolute encoders. So in a incremental encoders, mechanical motion computed by measuring consecutive on states. So on the left hand side you can see the diagram incremental encoder. Okay, so the pulses that will be counted, and on a right hand side you can see the absolute encoder. So the code disk that is shown for absolute encoder, on the left hand side the code disk that is shown for incremental encoder. Okay, so absolute encoders, the digital data produced by code disk which carries position information. Okay. So now we will see the standard binary coding, that is binary encoding, that is used for the absolute encoders. So you can see there is a binary. In a column of binary you can see the white color, that is 000. Okay, then that will be the 0, decimal will be the 0, or you can see it is a bit, 0 bit. Then when you move the shaft through 45 to 90 degree, the code it is 001, and the bit that will be the 1. Like that, for the different angles, different binary codes will be coded on a coded disk, and according to you will get the number of bits. Okay, so that is standard binary coding. Okay, so 0 means it is a white color on a disk, and 1 means it is a black color that is given to the disk. Okay, so there are number of partitions that are made. So 3 partitions are there: 001, 000, 111, like that. So when the light it is pass through the through that disk, so according to the code that will be generated, and that according to that code you can find out the displacement. Then the gray encoding, so that is a modification that is made in a binary encoding. So some change that is made in a coding, gray coding. So only one bit has to be changed for all the transitions in a gray encoding. Now next is, you can see there is a binary input and gray code output. So in a gray coding system, so binary input, that particular number or that particularly binary input number, it is converted into gray code input. To that is done to minimize the error. Then next is absolute encoder. So absolute encoder, that is a angular resolution that is given. Now regarding the theory of incremental and absolute encoder. So the incremental encoder provides a pulse each time the shaft rotates through predefined distance, while an absolute encoder provides the whole world output with a unique code pattern representing each position. The output code is derived from independent tracks on the encoder disk corresponding to individual photodetectors. The output from these detectors would then be high or low, or it is 1 or 0 depending upon the code disk pattern for that particular position. Now, absolute encoders are used in applications where a device is inactive for long periods of time and moves at slow rates, such as flood control, telescopes, cranes, etc. Absolute encoders use the natural binary code or gray code and BCD in addition to many other codes. The incremental encoder creates a series of equally spaced signals corresponding to the mechanical increment required. Optical encoders tend to follow one of the two principles of operation. First is, they consist of either a system of coded tracks. You can see this diagram of binary coding and gray coding. So optical encoders tend to follow one of two principal operations. They consist of either a system of coded tracks consisting of transparent and opaque sections and associated lamps and photocells to detect the corresponding switching sequence. Or second, they rely on the use of more fringe technique capable of much higher resolution when used for incremental measurement. So you can see there is a transparent section and opaque section. So white means it is a transparent section and black means it is a opaque section. So through the transparent section, the light that will pass, and through the opaque section, the light will not be pass. Okay, if you see the 001 on a circle, there is a number, it is given 001 means the 00 means the light from two sections it is passed, so it will indicate 00, and at the black portion the light does not pass, so the code will be 001. So 001 it is converted, so that will be the uh, bit, the number of bit that will be the 1 you can see in a decimal column. For the 001 the bit will be the 1, and that, and according to that, that angle that you can find out. So there is a formula to find out the angle. Now the absolute digitizer comprises an assembly consisting of a gray coded pattern. So this is a gray encoding. So some change, so that gray encoding it is made from the binary encoding. Okay, so that binary encode, that binary code it is converted into gray code. So absolute digitizer comprises an assembly consisting of a gray coded pattern photographically reproduced on a glass disc mounted on an input shaft. The code consists of 10 annular tracks, each with a pattern of opaque and transparent sections. The code reading system employs a filament lamp and collimating lens from which light passes through the disc and a narrow radial slit to be detected by 10 photovoltaic cells. Depending on the angular position of the shaft, certain cells receive light from the transparent portions of the disk and enable the outputs from all 10 cells to produce the shaft position directly in parallel gray coded form. The output, which is noise free, is suitable for amplification and subsequent processing for use in digital servo systems, computers, data logging, and visual displays. So you can see the resolution. So in a absolute optical encoder, the resolution will be 360 degree divided by 2 raised to n. So n means number of bits. Okay, if the suppose the number is 001, so it will be the bit you can see here. So for 001 you can see in a binary 001 or 011, the decimal is 2. For 011 the decimal is 2. 2 means it is a number of bit. So you can see the resolution will be the 360 degree divided by 2 raised to n. N means it is 2. So 2 raised to 2 means 4. So that will be equal to 90 degree. So for that particular code, when that particular code it is detected by photodiode, then the shaft that will be rotated through 90 degree. So it measures the rotational displacement that can be measured per bit change. In incremental optical encoder, the resolution is 360 divided by n. So n means it is a number of windows on code disk. Then the applications. So primarily used in motors for monitoring velocity and position, in robotics, conveyor belts, locomotives, automobile, planes, tachometers. So this is another slide that represents how optical encoders work. So the photodetectors are the special transistors that allow current to flow when the light from the LEDs is shining on them. two LED photodetector pairs are used. This produce the output A and B. The alternating on-off state produces the output signal. Now we will move on the flapper nozzle system or the nozzle flapper system. A nozzle flapper is a displacement transducer that translates displacements into pressure change. A secondary pressure measuring device is therefore required within the instrument. You can see in the diagram there is a measurement chamber. So this indicate output pressure P0. Then there is a fixed restriction, and on a right hand side you can see the flapper, and it is and there is a nozzle, and that flapper it is separated by distance x from the nozzle. There is a fixed restriction, that is orifice, and air it is supplied from the left hand side. The fluid at a known supply pressure flows through the fixed restriction, that is through the orifice, and then through a variable restriction formed by the gap x between the end of the main vessel and the flapper plate. The body whose displacement is being measured is connected physically to the flapper plate. The output measurement of the instrument is the pressure P0 in the chamber. So that is denoted by the dotted line, the pressure that is P0. So that pressure P0 is almost proportional to the x over a limited range of movement of the flapper plate. So the body whose displacement it is to be measured is connected to the plate. So when the body moves, so there is a change in distance x, and due to that there is a change in the pressure P0. So that the pressure P0 it is almost proportional to x. The instrument typically has a first order response characteristics. Air is very commonly used as a working fluid, and this gives the instrument a time constant of about 0.1 seconds. The instrument has extremely high sensitivity, but its range of measurement is very small. It is near about plus or minus 0.05 mm with resolution plus or minus 0.01 micro m. One very common application of nozzle flappers is measuring the displacements within a load cell, which are typically very small. So this is regarding the displacement transducers. So today we have discussed regarding the optical encoders and the nozzle flapper. Thank you.